Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about, I'm going to go into the second step of MASK, as mentioned in the previous video, the motivation, accountability, the A. We learned motivation, now accountability. In future videos we'll go over the S and the K. MASK is easy to remember. This accountability can go both ways. It can be something that can be provided, can help be provided by the actual coach, nutritionist, trainer, health coach, whatever it is. Any guide you have is part of any health professional. It's necessary now that you have someone to answer to learn from, to be the mirror of what you're actually doing, to help you see what's really going on. It is designed to, as far as health is concerned, to help bring out of you independence and health and wellness, to learn to do the right things as far as your keeping yourself going is concerned. But I've also learned that the best trainers, coaches, nutritionists, whatever, one of the best qualities I find anybody in this field can provide is to get you to the point where you no longer need that person. Perfect example, if you're type 2 diabetic, doesn't apply to type 1, but if you're type 2 diabetic, the point of the insulin and the point of losing weight and going to the gym is to get to the point where you no longer need that insulin shot. So that to get you to, with whatever your health condition is, that is the point. And that's something any honest coach will help you with, is get you to the point where you can do this on your own and live healthy habits. Unfortunately, not everybody's like that. But the definition of accountability, an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility, to account for one's actions, it's to help you see where you're really at. You think of accountability, think of an accountant. Someone who helps see the numbers, to track the receipts, the sales, whatever it is, the taxes, on paper, to know where they stand, making money, losing money, needing employees, firing employees. It's to see it on paper. But that's not what a health coach does, and I don't know math anyway. So it is especially useful to let this become part of your day-to-day routine, your personality, and to think of your consequences before there is a problem, before there's conflict, to help you be more independent as far as your goals are concerned. Some examples of accountability are taking things into consideration before you act on them, having someone to answer to, or in the worst case scenario, to own up to your mistakes. Unfortunately, we make mistakes. Everybody does. And if you make a mistake, why, fine, and I've done this too, to own up to it and to learn from it. To say, okay, you know what? Whatever it was, I drank too much last night, and that's part of the process of any 12-step program, is listing what you've done wrong, seeing where you really stand, and making amends to those you hurt. Again, I'm not talking numbers here, I'm talking as a person. Full accountability includes taking things into consideration before acting on them. I'm not going to say this quote right, but there is a principle in recovery that what is it? A business that does not take inventory of its assets and liabilities will usually go broke. And we have to do the same as people. Now, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it is such a beneficial thing, and I've done it. But if you think about what the root word of what an accountant does, what an accounting department does at any business, is to figure out a plan of action before acting on that plan. In terms of health or anything else, that's a goal, whatever it may be for you, whether it's we'll go into it. But this includes to work with somebody on how to take a positive action to have a goal. That goal, it can be to lose weight, lower your cholesterol, find positive activities, get away from negative behaviors, or to have a support to someone, to have a support group to answer to, accountability partner or sponsor, or to be that support to someone once you have experienced what personal accountability is. And again, the coaches, one, they provide it, and two, like I say, to help you be that person so you don't need it anymore. And that has, I will tell you a piece of my story, that when I was pushing 300 pounds at one point, I was high twos, and doctor recommended a dietitian. I had never heard of one before, and having to go every week and writing down every week what I was eating, which was terrible. I remember telling him my breakfast was a bit, not like the huge bags of Chex Mix, but there was like not the smallest. It was like a medium kind of size Chex Mix and coffee on the way to work. That was my breakfast. And when he repeated that back to me, he was like, "Does this sound really healthy to you? You're eating Chex Mix on the car while drinking coffee on your way to work? Huh, look at that." And that's what we do. And again, with my own story, I'll try to minimize this about me. But to the point where when I was done with that dietitian, 144 pounds, and from being high twos to becoming a personal trainer, then going to school to be a nutritionist. That's what accountability did. And it has to work with myself too, to see what I'm eating, how much caffeine I'm taking in, and whatever the case is for you. If you see on paper, okay, you drank this much last night, alcohol, you had this many cigarettes in a day, this is how much drugs, whatever it is, how much caffeine, whatever, to help you see that business that doesn't take inventory, that does not know where it stands, will usually go broke. In all 12-step programs, yes, that applies to me too, so you're not alone. It's part of having me help you. But in terms of 12-step programs, accountability is incorporated. Usually, and actually every time for successful working through it, is in the form of a sponsor. Other programs, there are, I don't know how many, but there's gambling, emotions, sex, money, whatever it is, 12-step programs. Some of them have built-in action partners. That's an accountability partner, an accountability buddy. They have written goals, action plans to reach those goals in a measurable form. In another video, I will go over something else a coach does in terms of goals. They're called SMART goals. If you're another coach watching this, or a nutritionist, whatever it is, you know what a SMART goal is. And every good coach, and usually they will have this incorporated. Every coach, whether they're good or not, will have SMART goals incorporated to help you reach whatever you're doing. These 5 main points, SMART, the letters spell out SMART. That are vital to reach your goals. And it incorporates accountability, responsibility. Taking a previous thing into further consideration is part of this. And it doesn't only apply to business. Personal level. Look at the cost of doing something versus not doing something. I may have more to lose by not taking an action. That's something people don't think about. You're nervous about taking a class, losing weight, or whatever it is. You have more to lose by not trying. You know, and something, and I struggle with this sometimes too, if my parents should see this, is that I have said, it's better to try and fail than not try at all. Sometimes it hits me hard because I fail at things and I get very upset. And the accountability comes from my mother, who will watch this video, that she reminds me of that. I get discouraged and this and that, and you may too. But the reminder that has come, you know, as I said this to my mother, she repeated it back. I'm like, what the hell? Now what's coming back to me is, it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. This can work on both sides of the coin. The consequences, whether positive or negative, of doing something or not doing something positive, and doing or not doing something negative. And my parents, and of course my sister would see this, I was never a good math student. But this is often learned in high school math when studying logic. Expanding on what was just said, part of accountability is to see, for example, that while not doing something positive can be a bad thing, it is certainly good to come to the conclusion that in life, not doing something bad is a good thing. Not doing a bad action is a good thing. Conversely, doing something positive is well and a positive, and doing something bad is bad. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't know if I'm rambling. Hopefully you're getting something fun out of this video too, because we're all imperfect. All of this, with any good coach, it will be included with it. So whether it's some kind of coach, a sports coach, a nutritionist, a health coach, a sponsor in recovery, or an accountability partner, it's something I like to allude to in working with people is that a coach, personal trainer, whatever, or your mirror. They reflect back to you what you are doing. And it always sounds different coming from another person. The point is to help you see objectively what you are doing. To write it on paper, to show back your thoughts to you. What would you think of that person, which usually is you? This is part of every single 12-step program, steps 4, 5, and 10 more specifically. Accountability is required for a productive life. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's part of adulting, which I don't always love. I'm not sure if anyone or everyone loves it. But there is a main point of accountability that is called honesty. Now, I struggle with that. I'm sure many people do. Working with any coach, sponsor, accountability partner, is that when you lie to that person, you're not always hurting them, depending on what it is. Yeah, if I steal from you and then I lie about it, yes, that hurts you. But when working with a coach, or I remember when I worked with the sponsor at first, he thought I was lying about something. I'm like, dude, if I lied to you, that doesn't hurt you. You'll go find another person to help. It hurts me. It doesn't hurt you. If I lie to you, I don't see what's really going on. And he's like, wow. And it was a wow for me too. You don't hurt that person. The one person, it depends, again, depending on what it is. It hurts you to not take responsibility, to not be accountable, be honest. Um, for example, when you're working with a coach or a dietitian, whatever it is, if you eat donuts all day and you lie about it, or you lie about your exercise habits, that hurts your overall plan. It will prevent you from reaching your goals. Not to mention that eating donuts is not exercising is not good for you. You are hurting your body, and now the plan of action you are working with to get you to that positive place, say you want to lose 50 pounds. But if you're eating donuts and lying to the person who's helping you, you're the one eating the donuts, basically. And it's based on lies. If you lie to that person, it's to help you get honest and to see, like in that business inventory, to see where you're really at. However, on the opposite of that, every one of us messes up. And if you're honest about it, your failures, you can still get help. But it encourages humility to admit to something. It's not emphasized in many cultures, including America. Found a website, soberlink.com, that actually has a very good tip to handle accountability. Learn what your triggers are and create healthy strategies to handle them. This might have been mentioned, I don't remember now, in the DBT video I did, the dialectical behavioral therapy. Yes, I'm working with the therapist there too, and it's not. But accountability is part of more than just dialectical behavioral therapy. It's part of CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. It's similar to DBT. And I stumbled on another website. I am gonna put links in the description. For you, one, it might be a legal thing, and two, for you to see it. I found them very helpful. It's called wholelifechallenge.com. So it's soberlink.com and wholelifechallenge.com. But this wholelifechallenge.com lists a very simple, very effective process to encourage accountability. It didn't list like when I use mask. That's easy, but this one was a little tougher to do that. 1, adjust your attitude. 2, write things down. There we go. Hint. 3, create a strategy. And 4, hint, ask for help. So again, I will put the links in the description under the video. Reminder, very important. If I'm repeating it, that means it's important, and it applies to everybody, including certain people. So it's we're all imperfect. But reminder, if you have a coach, a trainer, accountability partner, or sponsor, the only person who hurts if you don't tell the truth, as far as the sponsor or whatever it is concerned, is you. You have the most to lose by not taking positive action. Something I've come to realize over the years of recovery, this is a fairly recent, had to come about a year ago, I guess. It's something I've learned over the years, and it is having to answer to something or someone. That the big thing is having a schedule. I will not have an accountability partner with me 24 hours a day. You're not going to have someone with you while you're sleeping, while you're in the shower, whatever it is, while you're in the car driving to work. Not going to have that. Something that helps, and so every one of us falls short on it, is to have that written schedule to see where your day, it really is, where it's really has proven to be very beneficial beyond words. Having a schedule, making a plan, getting things done, having your goals. When something like this comes up, is that something I would tell everybody, to have a daily plan instead of the wandering mind taking over, going wherever without responsibility. I forget I have to go to work, I forget to go to the gym, I would be eating chocolate all day, and that doesn't work. Something very beneficial on the flip side of what's been mentioned so far is one of the biggest steps in any 12-step program. And this is why I do what I do, to show others how to do this as well. Helping others do this helps maintain your own objectivity. Everybody has that self-serving bias, everyone. But helping others helps keep you objective, helps you see your own flaws, holds you accountable to the person you're working with. So if we work together, I answer to you as well. It's not you answer to, well, yeah, part of it. I answer to you as well. And part of the 12-step program brings a very underrated philosophy that mankind naturally does not get. And you'll know where I got it from. It's called the servant mindset. It's a very simple thing to remember. The servant mindset. I think we know where that idea comes from. But that's as opposed to, I got this. If I got this, look where I land. I wound up addicted, nearly 300 pounds, close to death based on my health. Because I had this. I got it. I went to the nutritionist, got to 144 pounds, and what a difference. I'm going to fall over. It is amazing that God himself did this by sending several people, a line of people, including Jesus, that suffering servant, to show humility. He didn't say, I got this, I can do whatever I want. Jesus came as whether you believe it or not. Whoever it is, he let it be Moses. But in the video description, you will see the 2 pages that I used for the definitions of accountability, both of which proved very helpful to help me plan for this video. You will also see a link to a company I have partnered with for health and wellness products. On that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.